So in this video, I'm going to give some tips and tricks for getting the most out of your Insta360 X3 camera. So if you've just got your camera and you would class yourself as maybe a beginner or a newbie with 360 cameras or even just Insta360 cameras in general, this video will help you out. So first of all, we're just going to look at the camera to start with and just look at like what everything does on the camera, so you're like familiar with it. So 360 cameras, we obviously have two lenses on here. We've got one here and one here, and essentially this will film everything. On one side of the camera we have a couple of buttons here. So this is the button to power on your Insta360 camera, and this is another button to access the quick menus, which we'll get into later. On the other side we have a little flip door, which you can access the USB-C cable for charging or transferring your footage. And then we also have the battery door. So two little clips here that clip out. We've got a nice big battery in there. And then the SD card is hidden away snug down at the bottom here where it says SD. And to get it out, it's a little bit fiddly. You just have to like get your nail in there or your thumb and press it in, and then the card just slides out. And my camera came with this card. This is a 64GB card from Insta360. Seems to be big enough for what I need for a day's shooting. So we'll just go ahead and pop that back in. On the bottom here we have a thread where we can attach our selfie sticks or mounts. So to turn your Insta360 camera on, we're going to hold this side button here. You should see a light at the bottom here and a little noise, and it'll power on. The good thing about these cameras is, if it's your first time using an Insta360 X3 camera, there's actually like a walkthrough menu that the camera will show you everything how the camera works. So basically it'll teach you like which way to swipe and what some of the buttons do, but I'm going to take you through that now because I've already obviously used my camera. So obviously if we press this bottom left button here, that is to shoot a video or to take a photograph. We have this video here which changes the lens, or it switches the video mode, so now we're in 360 mode, and we can switch to single lens mode. Hello. On the side here we have a button to turn your camera on and off, and we also have this quick menu button. So if we click that, we can actually create different settings, like preset settings, depending on what we want to shoot. So there's obviously one here that's already in the camera for skiing, and they've got different customized modes in here for time lapses, me mode, and photos. So you can add your own in there as well, and you can tell, you can like label the sport that you're doing. So say riding, so I love mountain biking, tick that, and we can then go in here and we can select it, and obviously that will be in the predefined preset. If we swipe down from the bottom of the screen, that'll bring us into our settings menu, so you can adjust all sorts in here. I'm not going to go into detail into what every single feature does in this camera, but just know that you can access your general settings, and you can adjust the brightness level. You can do all sorts in here, so have a play around with that, but that is just basically how you access settings menu. And we're going to swipe up from the bottom to access our camera. If we swipe across to the right, that is going to take us into our footage, and we can obviously click at the top left here and we can access and look at all the footage that we've taken. If we swipe back to the left, it'll take us back to our camera. And if we swipe across again to the left, it takes us into the settings, so we can adjust how we want our shot to look. And you'll notice as well when I'm swiping across, you obviously can't feel this, but the camera has a really nice feedback sensation. So it actually vibrates, so you can tell when you are making adjustments and things like that, which is a really, really nice touch. There's also a button here on the screen that we can change the lenses around. There I am again, my pro setup. So I'm just going to quickly take you through some of the different shooting modes that we have here on the Insta360 X3 camera. So if we click this camera button at the bottom left, we can swipe across between the different shooting modes for 360 and single lens camera modes. Active HDR, normal video mode, we've got time lapse, we've got time shift, we've got bullet time, which is kind of a crazy feature Insta360 have put on these cameras, loop recording, star lapse, we've got burst photos, intervals, HDR photos, normal photos, and we can switch to single lens. We've got me mode, which is really, really cool, and actually is a wide angle 60 frames a second shot, which removes the selfie stick automatically. And look at that, it even gives you little tips and tutorials as you're using the camera in real time. So it's really, really hands-on, absolutely amazing for beginners. And we're gonna go back now to 360 mode here. Now when it comes to transferring your footage from the camera to your computer or your phone, there's a number of ways you can do it. If you connect it to your computer, you can do what I usually do, which is use a cable. It's just a USB-C to USB-C cable, and we just plug it straight into the side here, and then the other end goes into our Mac, and we can access our files that way. We can also send our files via Wi-Fi from the camera to our phone via the Insta360 app, which is really simple to do, really fast as well. We can also edit in the app as well, which again, I won't go into that video. I have a video on my channel about editing, which I will link on the screen now somewhere, so you can go and check that out. And then when it comes to maintenance of these cameras and keeping these lenses safe, there's a number of different things we can do. We have this cover which came with my camera, which is like a nice rubber or silicone lens cover, which just is quite a nice addition there. I don't really use this too much. I actually use a different cover which came with my camera, and it's just this neoprene sheet here basically, so I like to just put my camera straight in there, and then that just fits in my pocket real nicely. And obviously when I've got the selfie stick on here, I can just literally pull this cover off, click record, and away I go. So hopefully that was useful for you. I'm going to be doing more videos on this camera for like tutorials and tips and helping you getting the most out of the camera basically. So yeah, give this video a like if it did help you out, and consider checking out some of my other videos on the channel, which are some more 360 camera and normal camera tutorials. So thumbs up, you can see my thumb up there. See you in the next video guys, bye.